Mimi's here. Get ready to flow. Let's dive deep with PiSeas Tarot. Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With Mimi, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. True.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at PiSeas Tarot, this is a phenomenal episode of Tarot for Two. Over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business, and ooh, baby child, I can promise you we about to get into somebody's business. This is an insight-led, aware-focused space that is designed to support you in making effective decisions. Over here, the truth rises to the surface and illusions are brought into the light. In this reading, I will examine your relational dynamics between you and your person, offering you the clarity, depth, and intention that you need to make a foundational decision. You are here for understanding, not for comfort. There is no sugarcoating the message in this space. If you are feeling vulnerable, uncertain, emotionally shut down, or caught in a connection that is not fully adding up or making sense, well, this message is for you, my dear, and it is not accidental that you are here. Stay present, because what unfolds in this reading may give you the language to what you may have been sensing but could not fully articulate. Now, using my intuitive and psychic tarot card insights, I will unpack emotional patterns, subconscious signals, and energetic themes that are surrounding the connection between you and your person. Whether you are new at navigating love, questioning intentions, or standing at a crossroads, this space is designed to give you the context, perspective, and actual clarity that you can use. This is a collective reading, so take what resonates with you and leave what does not. Okay. Lastly, remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising signs. So if you're ready to get into it, go ahead and put the little stars in the chat and let me know that you're with me, because baby, it's time for us to get with it. You know what time it is, y'all. It's time to do this grounding. Now, remember, we must ground ourselves before we go deeper. Grounding allows you the opportunity to not only stay present, protected, and receptive. It allows spirit to move with accuracy and not with chaos. So we're going to cleanse the energy, because most of y'all, like me, have been at work today, dealing with people and they wonky energy. Mercury retrograde is retrograding, okay? So we're going to cleanse the energy first with our girl, Boo Boo. And then what we will do is go into the guided meditation, okay? So if y'all ready to get into it, let's get it. And I'm coming, I promise. Utilizing the box breathing technique, we're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold it, and release. Starting with inhaling with clarity, holding it, and exhaling distractions. Here we go. Next, inhale freedom and exhale emotional weight. Lastly, inhale truth and exhale fear. Listen, if you feel a little bit lighter, Drop an emoji in the chat that reflects how you feel right now, because baby, that always sends me, okay? But before we get too started, or too far along into this reading rather, I just want to set a quick reminder that this space is sacred, but it can become very honest and raw. Sometimes spirit will challenge you to come out of your comfort zones. This is only awareness and not punishment, okay? Listen, you are here for a reason, okay? Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Lean into it. All right. So if you're ready for spirit to speak plainly, go ahead and drop those cooking emojis, because baby, I'm ready to get into this divine download and tell y'all what done came to me, honey, because, ooh, child, I wasn't ready. Here we go, y'all. Now, before I do any reading, I always take a minute to lean in to see what spirit has to say to me. And sometimes these messages come from divine messages, colors, visions, a feeling, or a song that just will not leave my spirit, okay? Now, if y'all rock with me often, like my peeps over here in the chat do, y'all know we've been talking about this stellium, this influx of Piscean energy, okay? And as you can see on the screen, we still have a sun in Pisces, with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, Venus, and Mars. This is also impacting our nodes, okay? So we have those Piscean energies there. But what I want to distinctively draw your attention to is this full moon that's in Libra right now, y'all. Let me tell you. This Libran energy coming in through y'all is not playing no games, okay? It is about justice. It is about things coming to the light, combining that with this Piscean energy. There's a lot of subconscious activity going on. People cannot explain why they're doing what they're doing and feeling what they are feeling, okay? Now, why is that important? Because I can assure you guys that surely, as today is Wednesday, March the 4th, Pisces season. Anyway, I was sitting here minding my own business, and spirit dropped in my spirit two things. There was a word which goes back to people feeling undervalued and unappreciated. It is coming to the surface where people are being confronted with a pent-up of aggressions, a pent-up of energy, a pent-up feeling of emotion, right? There's this resurgence of feelings that have yet to be reconciled that are coming to the light. With this Piscean energy, with this Mercury retrograde, people are feeling the need to speak up, to be open, to be honest. There is a clear knowing. There is this, it's a very interesting energy, because it's almost like an energy of sorriness, like apologetic energy, but then it's also like an energy that's present, like, no, you're not gonna get over on me no more. Like, we ain't doing this no more. Like, this is what, this is what we doing, right? So as I was sitting and noodling on that, the song that dropped into my spirit, y'all, came from 1988, okay? I don't know where you was in 1988, but I remember where I was, and I was about 4 years old, okay? Had no business singing this song. But the lady's name is Karyn White, and the song is called Superwoman. Now, if you know who this is, let me know, because baby, I don't know no woman who don't know the words to this song, okay? But what I heard out of nowhere was, oh baby, look into the corners of your mind. I'll always be here for you, good through good and bad times, but I can't be that superwoman that you want me to be. I'll give my everlasting love if you return love to me. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything is okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than occasional hugs as a token from love from you to me. So immediately I said, ooh, who is this? And what is this message all about? So if this resonates with you, don't just be quiet and sit in the silo and think that, you know, you might be a little embarrassed. Listen, baby, we all been a fool in love. We didn't all did too much and not enough and, you know, all of those things at the same time. This is a family. Nobody is judging you, okay? If this matters to you and hits you where you are right now, go ahead and drop that emoji that is best reflective of that right now in the chat, because, baby, I'm ready to get into this and find out more. Who is like, I ain't your Superwoman. This is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to be. All right, so let's get it. All right, y'all. So as we start to evaluate the energy that is going on between you and your person, I'm going to look at the undercurrent. We're going to check the vibes and see what we're talking about. I just looked up. It was 11:11 on the clock. So this means something to you. There is some type of divine, angelic intervention that is occurring right now between you and this person, okay? So let's find out more. Divine white light with clear and precise messages. Come through with clear and accurate messages. Thank you. Amen. And I say, let me revise that statement to say that this should be reflective of those individuals that are here presently and who will be here in the future. Thank you. Amen. And I say, all right. What is the undercurrent for this relationship, Spirit? All right. Earth magic. Now, I just told y'all 11:11 came up on the screen. Now we got the number 1 here. Okay. 11:11 does break down to 1. This is about new beginnings. This, you or your person could also be an earth sign, but this is about you grounding, staying connected to what matters most, and feeling rejuvenated and restored by leaning into that particular energy. If you are unfamiliar about grounding, let me advise that if you go outside with your feet on, stand on clean grass, okay, because I got a big cane corso, so you got to make sure it's no poop-a-poop in the vicinity. But if you go outside and stand in grass and just dance in barefoot in grass, you will feel recharged. There is an energetic recharging that occurs when that happens, okay? Now, somebody may have also gotten a revelation from being out in nature. I don't know about you, trees, talk to me. Let me know down in the chat, like, what is the way that you get your download, okay? Now, the truth that we need to learn right now for our journey is balance, okay? I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So this is about balance, okay? And if we go back to the earworm of the day, what we were talking about was a relationship being off balance, not feeling appreciated, not feeling like you're worthy, not feeling like you're being seen or valued or appreciated. You know, like, that's the worst kind of feeling that one could have, okay? It is the worst, because that means that you're overcompensating for the lack of what you're not getting through how you show up and support this other person, and they're not giving you in return anything that's making you even feel like your time, your effort, and your energy is worth it, okay? So, guides of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us today? A way out of the weeds, a clear way out, multitasking and getting organized. So again, it's a lot of greenery here, okay? This greenery could also be reflective of you growing and evolving and becoming, but also clearing out that heart space, right? Making sure that your heart is postured in the best way possible for you to be able to do what you need to do, which is also where that revelation may be coming from that we spoke about. All right, Spirit, we'll go here first. How is this showing up for the people in this reading? How is this showing up for people in this reading? All right, in their shoes, okay? Someone is starting to understand what it feels like to be you. That's where that sympathetic energy that I mentioned earlier may be coming into play. Understanding that things were not fair at all. And whatever revelation this mother trucker had to go through while you was out the picture, baby, it was loud and clear. That mother trucker heard it from a mile away, okay? And it might have been even quiet. What does the main character in this story need to focus on? Okay. The water cooler chat. This is about connections, informal networks, insights, social pause, and community. Okay, so somebody is getting some insight from somewhere else that is not within their immediate social circle right now. While it may be called water cooler chat, if there's a social outing, perhaps that's where somebody was out in nature and got that epiphany or that aha moment. But someone is definitely finding out information through their communications with others that gave insight. You know, sometimes when we're in the middle of relationships and you're having conversations with your partner, they don't hear you because it sounds like a complaint. And they feel like the complaint begets nagging, when really all you are doing is advocating for your voice to be heard and for your feelings to be recognized and honored, okay? It's different when a stranger articulates the same messaging and they support your stand without you even being there, okay? So this is where I always say, and I know people probably don't like that I frame it this way, but this is where gossip becomes helpful and handy, right? Because now you're getting insight and information to something that you wouldn't have otherwise gathered. Okay? So let me ask you something. Who feels like this message is for them? If you feel like Spirit just read your situation without asking questions, go ahead and drop that coffee cup in the chat, because baby, I'm ready to look at whose business we finna get into. All right, let's get it. Now, as we move to the discovery phase, if you've never been here before, baby, I can promise you, it might be a little confusion, but I promise you I'm going somewhere, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the themes, the friction points, and the relational blind spots between you and your person. Then I will realign the cards based on the energy of how I am feeling it is coming through, okay? So there's going to be a person A and a person B. But for now, don't get caught up in that. Just look and listen at the messages that come out, all right? So, Divine Spirit, give us clear and precise messages for the people who are here in this reading and the people who will be here in the future. Thank you, amen, I say. All right, the first clue, spy. Someone has got their eye on you and they're doing their research, okay? Remember, I just mentioned a moment ago, right? Remember, I just mentioned a moment ago, there was some type of conversation, okay? This ties into doing their research. I don't get the impression that they intended for you to become a part of the conversation. It feels like this was an organic conversation. Like they may have been talking about one thing or another, and the conversation kind of like shifted to talking about something more personal than superficial. And that's where the epiphany came from. Remember, this could be you or your person, okay? So remember, we're talking about either you or your person, okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. Now, what is the vibe? All right, what is the vibe, Spirit? All right. Family, okay? Blood ties, inner circle. Again, you see this wooded energy? This is giving a lot of earth energy here. So either you or your partner could be an earth sign, okay? But this is about family, blood ties, inner circle. Again, I'm not your superwoman, okay? If you never heard the song, let me tell you, she said, early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. And I make sure your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy. Your toast is like me. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to be sweet. Okay, now y'all can go listen to the rest of the song. But that's what she's talking about. Early in the morning, getting somebody ready. So you and your person could be married, could be in a long-term situation, could be in a situationship where there's like a family dynamic, but this is some type of family engagement here. Okay, now what is the tea? What is the tea? Okay, this is very interesting because I just spoke about somebody being married. This card always sends me, but we have here marrying for money. So I'm not sure if you or your person are married, have been thinking about marriage, but there is some type of long-term stability situation that is here. I'm not necessarily saying that it's about money, but I am saying that it does feel like this was for stability purposes. Okay, this was someone wanting to be stable. Okay, what else is going on, Spirit? Okay. Skirt. Quick getaway. The runner escaping. Okay, so somebody wasn't trying to hear it. Okay, if we're continuing down the path of I'm not your superwoman, remember how I mentioned to you guys earlier that sometimes when you're having conversations with your mate about things that are problematic to you, they perceive your concerns as complaints, and then that equates to nagging in some people's minds. So likely when the pressure got to cooking, when it got to a pressure point, they didn't want to hear it. They avoided, they ran, they locked up. Okay. What else, Spirit? Is this a true flame or not? True flame or not? Okay. We have, it is a true flame. This is mutual effort. You both are showing up, checking in, putting in the work. That's what makes this love thrive. Okay. So this is about mutual effort. Okay. Remember I told you before, they didn't hear you before. Now they're hearing you. We also got, y'all stop it. Look at this, y'all. I can't make it up. Somebody in this equation is married, talking about marriage, and or is in a mental marriage with somebody. Okay, there's some type of commitment here. That wedding ring is affirming everything of what I've been saying. Okay, but there is some infidelity here. Okay, you shouldn't have to compete for the love you already committed to. No matter how sweet the apology, the trust has been irreversibly fractured. Okay, so there has been some type of misalignment that could not be ignored. Okay, could not be ignored. And that also kind of goes back to how people at times start picking and trying to get a rise out of you because they're trying to create an excuse for them not to be present. They're creating an excuse for them not to listen because they're already checked out. I personally believe if a person is at the stage of infidelity, it's because they're not already committed and they've checked out. Okay, they're looking at something else. But everybody is different. What is the true see, sweet talk just came up. They do a whole lot of sweet talking. Okay. What lies beneath this, Spirit? I'm not your superwoman. They sure be thinking you supposed to be superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. All right, putting on a show. Okay, putting on a show. All right, doing the most, putting on a show. What stands out to me the most is that at times we can try to outperform and upstage ourselves, which also reiterates that whole narrative of Superwoman. But look at this. When I caught this little blank of smoke, this is also to me reflective of like I'm compromising, I'm giving up a part of me to give you who and what you want me to be. It is an illustration. It is not accurate. It is not reflective, and it is not true to who I am, right? I'll give you an example. As y'all may know by now, I love hoodies. I love sweatpants. If I were to be with someone who told me they don't want me wearing that, like, okay, I might acquiesce a little bit. But long term, oh no, like it's a definite mismatch, okay? Now, when we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? The X, unfaithful triangle, love in question, X in question, okay? So here's the infidelity confirmed. There is an ex-partner somewhere in the way, okay? I know everybody likes to think that we have magical hoo-ha and we can get people to do and to be all the things that we want them to do and to be. However, the reality of the matter is that's not how it works, okay? Once a cheater, pretty much always a cheater. You can debate me in the comments if you don't believe me, okay? But it's very unlikely that you've had somebody from the past to revert into a reformed player, okay? It's just not likely. Dang, that was quick. The path of shadows today is vampire. And tonight's embrace, where desires ignites, my hunger keeps consuming all in sight. This goes back to, and look at how she looks. Red lipstick, okay? Seductive, okay? Their appetite is consuming whatever is in sight. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I don't know if y'all ready, but I'm ready to get into this and to find out what in the heck is going on here. Because someone has really high expectations for the people the people or person in their life. You may be the one that's feeling like the Superwoman, or you may be the person demanding and or requesting this of your person. Nevertheless, the point is still valid. You cannot ask someone to be something that you're not willing to be.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, okay? So, if you want to look at whose energy we're going to be picking up on today, I want you to go ahead and put those drums in the chat, drums in the chat, drums in the chat. Because, baby, I am ready to get into this and find out whose business we about to get into. Here we go. Well, dog, that was quick. Divine Spirit. Who is... Oh, I'm doing it again. All right. Just to let y'all know, that was the Queen of Wands that flew out. All right, so... Who is person A? I don't forget. I'm getting all discombobulated. All right, person A. I feel like person A is the one who's tried to run away from the negative feedback or the commentary. I feel like they're also the person when they were running, were the person that was participating in infidelity. I feel like they're also the person who has the X in the picture, okay? So person A ain't just running for nothing. They're running to something, okay? They're running to get something, all right? I feel like this ex of theirs is coming through as the vampire. This ex is feeling very vindictive to me. They're feeling like they know that this person is in a committed relationship, yet and still they are still continuing to aspire to be a problem, be a pest, be a nuisance, okay? Won't go anywhere, all right? And I have a reason to believe that this is why they are, person A is spying, okay? Getting information on you, whether they want it to or not, it is presenting itself, okay? Now, person B. Person B may be stuck into this situation because of the family environment, those ties that we talked about. They may be in it because of a lot of sweet talking that's going on. They could be here because they married this person for money. They also may be in a spot where they feel like they're always putting on a show, trying to defend themselves as a superwoman that they are not. And all they have been asking for is that mutual effort, okay? So this is a reconcilable, repairable fracture in a relationship, or so it seems right now. However, person A elected to leave person B hanging, okay? They elected to walk away. They said, it's easier for me to go back to what I've been dealing with if I was going to deal with all of this. They're seeing this as a nag, and it is not a nag. It was not a dig. It's like, I'm talking to you, baby. Listen to me. This is how this is making me feel. I'm not Superwoman. I can't do it all. Or for some of y'all, it might be, I ain't Superman. Okay? I can't do it all, right? All right. So now going back to the person, Spirit, who is person A? Okay. Again, flew out fast. Person A is here. All right. And who is person B in all of this, Divine Spirit? Now, remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. All right. So I'm going to put that there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to get into this tarot card reading. I want you to represent in the chat right now, who do you think that these people are? If it's a fire sign, drop a fire sign. If it's earth sign, put the earth sign. You get it, right? In the meantime, I'm about to get into it. Let's go. All right, ladies and gents, this is where I integrate the tarot cards in alignment with everything that I told you guys from the intuitive and the psychic portion of the reading, okay? Now, what we're about to do is examine both energies, okay? This is why this is tarot for two. Stick with me. I promise you we're going someplace, all right? So, what is going on, Spirit, with person A's energy? What is going on, Spirit, with person A's energy? But I can't be that superwoman. I promise y'all, I was way too young to be singing this song in the air freshener can. All right, let's go. All right, person A. Person A is coming back at full throttle, representing the love, the companionship, the intimacy, the relationship you wanted in the very beginning. This person has had some time to take a step back, to reflect, apologize, and now, baby, they are trying to come back because now they finally hear what was being said to them all along. In other words, y'all, person A done been outside, done been around, and now they done effed around and found out you ain't gonna never find another me out here on these streets. Person B. What is the present energy of person B? I'm gonna already caution you, person B, that person A could be coming in full of malarkey, because that's what I always think about when I see this Knight of Cups is somebody who's full of malarkey and bullshit. But then we also got the sweet talk card here, okay? So they're coming in hot and heavy full of game on how they gonna get you back. All right. Person B is coming in as the King of Cups. Okay. Person B is kind of cool, calm, and collected right now. They know what they want. They're willing to stand still on what they want. They know what they have to offer. Person B is a comprehensive gold package. Okay. They got the golden stamp. While they are bothered by the lack of mutual reciprocity in this, I do feel like person B in this knows what they bring to the table and they're not afraid to stand on business. What I mean by that is person B is in a spot where they're like, you know what? Okay, cool. You want to walk away? You want to go do whatever you're going to do? Go do it. But I bet while you won't find another me, somebody else will gladly pick me up. And I ain't going to be single for long. So person B is definitely waiting on their ships to come in. They're cool, calm, collected. They're very poised at this time. They may be doing a lot of meditation. But all in all, person B is like, you know what? I'm good. You know, I done suffered under Pontius Pilate all this time, you know, trying to be the woman that they wanted me to be. And they were disrespectful. They didn't appreciate it. They didn't value it. Okay. All of those things they're very mindful of. While they still may be in contact with you, person A, it's solely because y'all likely have kids together or have some type of family dynamic, blood ties that y'all just can't quickly disconnect. Okay. Now, what are the emotions that person A is trying to suppress right now? We got the Queen of Cups. Y'all, person A knows they messed up. Okay. They're trying to avoid reconciling with the fact. And remember, y'all, I told y'all in the beginning of this reading about all that Pisces energy that's here with these cards that we got now. Okay. Person A is trying to avoid feeling any emotions that signify love, nurturing, that like when I tell you they want that old thing back, they want that old thing back. Somebody said something to them that got them thinking, and that really blew their mind. Remember when we talk about feelings and emotions, and for those of you that's been rocking with me, y'all know we talked about this ad nauseum over the past 2 years. But for those of you who may be new, the difference between a feeling and an emotion is that feelings give you physiological responses to the feelings that you have, okay? So if you are sad, that is a feeling, but the emotion that you feel is the tears, the feeling that your stomach is messed up, that knot in your chest, that sickness, okay? What I'm saying with that is that person A is trying to suppress the feeling of that sadness. They want that old thing back. They know they messed up. You was their person. Obviously, it was enough to get to the marriage part, whether it formalized or was informal, okay? This was something that was on their mind, okay? There was a relationship of some sort. Again, whether it was formal or not. In some people's minds and perspectives, marriage does not have to be formalized through the courts. It's in their mind. So even if that is the case, this was an informal agreement that you are my person. This is we gonna do this. Okay. They have now come to the awareness that they have messed up. And now they're trying to avoid those feelings because now they got to reconcile for all the ways that they mistreated you, ignored you, invalidated, violated. I mean, I can go on and on and on.
Apologize.
Okay, I can really go on and on. Now, what are the feelings that they're trying to suppress? I told you. They are replaying this over and over again in their mind. They may be even at the point of overthinking, but they've gotten a new perspective regarding person B, where they're like, you know what? I want that old thing back. I recognize I was foul. I was moody. I didn't give you the support. I didn't give you the love. I didn't nurture you enough. I didn't invest in you enough. I should have took you out on more date nights. I should have, if basically person A, Spirit just said, was a hypercritical of person B, and person B adapted by doing everything that person A wanted and more. So person B anticipated person A's needs, their wants, their desires. But when it came time for person A to reciprocate that to person B, they rather go outside and go give that to somebody else than give that to the person that they should have been giving it to.
Excuse you.
So, person B, what are the emotions that they are trying to suppress? Okay. The Empress card. Okay. As I told you, this person, the Superwoman person or Superman person, okay, whichever way it comes around, person B is trying to suppress the feelings of feeling lost, the feelings of feeling empty, the feelings of not feeling not feeling valuable or validated. Like, I don't know how many moms we have out there, but just as an example, okay, and you can be a dad, but when you are a hands-on person, like I am a hands-on mom, when I don't have those duties and responsibilities anymore, I kind of feel lost. I kind of feel obsolete. And it oftentimes makes me sad because then it's like, okay, well, what are you doing with your time that you don't have a life outside of this? I'm texturizing their emotions for you to understand that they feel lost. All they know is to be a giver. So this person could be an active service person, heavily on the acts of service. This person is well raised and well trained on how to be a partner. Okay. So person B is a partner, whereas person A is just in it for what's in it for them. Okay. Now, the feelings that person, okay, too many cards, Spirit. The feelings that person B is trying to avoid is the King of Swords in reverse. Okay? Let me tell you something. Person B is angry. Okay? That makes a whole lot of sense. Person B is angry. Person B is very cold, very ruthless in how they're doing things because they're angry. They want you to know, while they would never tell you, person A, they want you to know that they are pissed, okay, with how you left things. They are pissed that you didn't fight for this. They are pissed that you didn't stand on business. They are pissed that you didn't see them for what they were worth.
This a messy man.
Person B is quantifiably angry, okay? And the way that they're moving about this is showing up with cruelness because, see, now that they're not obligated to be in a service to you, it's become transactional and not reciprocal. So you're seeing the cold nature of them. You're seeing in real time how they're not accommodating or adapting to your needs because they don't have to no more. So person A is like, ew, who is this? But you don't have access to person B like that no more. Okay, it makes sense to me, but it don't make sense to person A, okay? And unfortunately, you have a lot of people who walk around here thinking that they're still entitled to that access, and you're not at all. So, what is being projected outward versus what is being held internally? Because we got to notice what is going on between these two people. What is being projected outwardly versus what is being held internally? Okay. Person A has had some time to step back and reflect with this Hermit card in reverse. as well as this Queen of Swords card in reverse. Listen, person A is knowing. Yeah, with the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, person A, now that y'all done had time to be separated again, like I said to you early on in the beginning of this reading, someone has dropped a nugget in their spirit that is telling them how it feels to be you, which is why they're in the space of being in your shoes. Now that they got to go through the bullshit that they do every day, now it's like, oh my God, this is a lot. You mean to tell me I got to go to work, come home, cook, clean, do the laundry, take care of the kids, help them with the homework, take them to like, oh, it's a lot. And now that this organic conversation has come about, illustrating to them that you are not complaining. You were just asking for fairness. You were just asking for reciprocity. You were asking for balance. Now that that has come out, this person has no choice to come forward and to tell you, man, baby, I'm so sorry. I was mean. I was cruel. I failed you as a man. Whatever their words are, okay? The point is they got to come forward and they got to say something. They are aware that their behaviors was not okay. So that's the beautiful thing about this right now. Now, what is favorable for person A in this situation? What was favorable? Okay. This was a long relationship. This has been building for a long time. Y'all have been knowing each other for a while. This was green pastures. This was emotional fulfillment and emotional attainment. Okay. When we think about the Knight of Pentacles, okay, this is someone who comes across as being willing to do whatever it takes to see it through. So you had the effort and the energy to build this house, make this house a home. You chose this person. You put in the work to get them. You were reliable. You were dependent. You were everything up until you weren't. Okay. So this goes back to a you problem, person A. I hate to say it that way, but I got to put it that way because you put so much into this just to check out and do something totally different. Like, who does that and why do we do that? Thank you. Spirit just said somebody had you thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. There is a statistic out there, if you care to look it up, talking about the number of committed people, committed, partner, dating seriously, and or married people that are on dating apps. It is at 65%. Okay, 65%. So that tells you right there that the majority of people on these dating apps are only there for accessibility and marketability. Okay, they're not really on there trying to find love. They're just trying to find something to do. Okay, I don't know if the person A, I don't know if you got on a dating app and came back across your ex. Regardless, we know that there's infidelity here and we know that the ex is involved. Okay, so somewhere this vindictive person has come back and they have got you wide open to where you was willing to walk away from a situation you put so much effort into just to go back and to do what? You've been there, done that. What we revisited that for? Oh God. Okay. Now, what is a repeated cycle for you? We got two cards that just came out. Okay. So I'm going to take this. When I asked the question, what was a repeated cycle for you, person A? It's this, okay? It's this Two of Swords and it's Eight of Wands in reverse. The problem is you needed to make some decisions earlier in this connection. Earlier, you needed to put up this boundary and you did not want to do that. You took your sweet and precious time trying to play like this person wasn't flirting with you, but you know good and doggone well they was flirting. Trying to act like it was nothing. Y'all just catching up. You knew it was something. That conversation went from a one-time check-in to a twice-a-day check-in to an all-day text thread to now y'all at each other's house having slumber parties and whatnot. Okay, this was a slow burn, and you should have put up those boundaries early on. But instead of you making the decision to say, you know what, I don't need to be seeing nothing you talking about, Karyn. I'm happy. I'm married. I'm involved with somebody. Whatever your situation is, you did not do that. Okay, and you don't do that with any of your exes. That's the cycle. Okay, so what is problematic? Ooh, 2 more cards try to come out. Too many cards. 1 card, Spirit. Oh my gosh. 3 cards. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay, the 8 of Pentacles. What is a repeated cycle? It goes back to what I said, that is favorable. You put in all the work to show. It's essentially a form of love bombing, it feels like. Like you do all the work to show people that you're capable, you're willing, you're interested, you're willing to be the provider, you're willing to be the confidant, you're willing to be all these things up until a certain point. And the question then becomes, why are you, person A, not seeing it through? Okay? You have these grandiose expectations of the people in your life. And it works for you up until it no longer serves you. And the question is, what is it that we're doing to get to this point where it's like all of a sudden this ain't that?
Bunch of bullshit.
Okay? So that's a cycle that we have to get to the bottom of. Why don't you want to put up boundaries? Why don't you want to make tough choices and bad decisions? You want, or good decisions, right? Why don't you, let me rephrase. Why don't you want to make the choices and decisions that you need to make when you need to make them? Okay? So if Spirit has called you out just a little bit, go ahead and put the little stop sign in the chat. Let us know that you're going to stop playing with people's feelings. All right? Now, the soul lesson that Spirit is trying to teach you is the 6 of Pentacles. You have got to start helping. You have got to start giving. Listen, it's not all about you. It's that mutual reciprocation. Okay? It's not just about money. It is not just about money. Anybody can go and give you some money. That's going to be good for a little while.
Yeah.
That's going to be good for a little while. Yeah, you helping me pay my bills. But how does that money equate to all the emotional stress that is on me day to day as I am trying to maintain a household and be a good woman for you and be a lover and a nurturer and a dishwasher and like just all the things. It is supposed to be a partnership, not a one-way dictatorship. Okay? And what Spirit is saying is you need to learn that it is not just about you and your relationships. It is about you and that other person. And my guppies who have been here all this time, y'all know I say this all the time. What makes relationships the most difficult and the most complicated is the fact that you have to be thoughtful and considerate about other people's feelings, thoughts, emotions, and manage their expectations.
Very careful.
So Spirit is saying, in order for this to sustain, in order for this to grow, in order for this to thrive, you need to learn how to give to others in the same way that you want people to give to you. Okay? Point blank, period. That's what it is. You got to give to others in the same retrospect as you want others to give to you. Now, be honest. Is that something that you recognize the Spirit is trying to teach you and tell you, or have you just been resisting it? I want you to be honest and write that down in the chat, because something tells me you've been picking up on that. You just ain't want to, deal with it. All right. Now, in terms of healing, what is it that you need to do to heal? We got the Moon card. Okay. This is the first major arcana that we've gotten all evening, okay? And this is important. In order for you to heal, you need to lean into your emotions. You need to lean in and confront the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Unfortunately, we live in a society where toxic masculinity has been overstated. It has been exaggerated. It has been encouraged, especially in certain communities, i.e. the Black community, right? This is where men are taught, you don't cry, you don't do this, you don't do that. If a girl don't do this, then she ain't the one. Like, you see the toxic patterns here? What Spirit is saying to you with this moon card is that it's time for you to face and confront your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. You need to be open and honest. Don't run from it. Stop acting like feelings are over the top. Stop acting like everything is going to give you the heebie-jeebies, right? You call yourself a man or a woman. These are the things that are part of that experience that you have to live up to. Okay? And if you're not willing to confront the things that make you feel uncomfortable and vulnerable, well, of course it's going to be an issue, right? Because you don't want to deal with anything like that. And there were signs that this person was unable, person B, to relish in their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. But for some reason or another, when it comes down to you in this connection, talking to this person, I will say it's not an isolated thing. They have a habit of avoiding their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, okay? They have a habit of doing this. So this is not like it was a one-time thing. They do this all the time. Anytime you open up your mouth to try to talk to them about thoughts, feelings, and emotions, baby, you might as well have told them that you got a bridge in Idaho that you want to sell them.
Come.
Okay? They be like, do not come at me with this. All right? So, what is it that you need to do to grow and to become a better person and to evolve? Got the Page of Wands. Listen, it is time for you, okay, person A, to turn a new leaf. I feel strongly like you have, but I feel like there's still some apprehension here, which is why we have the Moon card here, okay? You kind of like think you know that you need to be doing this, but you kind of like just ain't willing to do it. And it's a little bit frustrating because whereas you should be coming forward and being open and honest, you just want to check out.
Guess we'll never know.
So what makes it a little frustrating is that you need to, okay, this is not a request. You must and you shall come forward, apologize to person B, admit your transgressions, okay, so that y'all can have a conversation and move forward, okay? Because I don't feel like person B is totally over this situation. I just feel like they're just waiting for something better to come along, okay? So what am I telling you? Kick in the door while the door is still open, all right? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Listen, okay, I am telling you, as much as today is March the 4th, it is imperative that you do this now to create that awareness between you and person B that you are apologetic, you are remorseful, you want to reconcile, and you are reassured that you are this person's person. Failure to do so will result in person B choosing to wait for their ships to come in, and they will. And because they have this loving, daring, doting, mother-like energy that is so highly desirable, okay, and of high value in this dating world, they will find somebody else other than you, okay? So I'm telling you, as big sis auntie me, that you need to get off your butt and pick up the phone, call them and apologize, and do so now, all right? It's no other way around it, okay? It is what it is, and you need to do it, all right? So, with that being said, be honest, okay? We grown folks up in this space. Be honest. Do you notice about yourself? And why are you refusing to do what Spirit is asking you to do? I'm going to tease you because I can, but it's time for you to go ahead and get yourself together. All right, so let's look at next. What are the hidden values that are here that we cannot see? All right, let's go. All right, so this is where Spirit starts to elaborate on the hidden motives, ulterior agendas, and the true meanings behind what is happening, as well as what you and your person may be avoiding, okay? And I know this is a very sensitive topic, okay? But it is important, all right? So, Spirit, reveal to us what has been hidden in this connection. What has been hidden? What has person B not, okay. Lord. All right, so what has been hidden? Y'all, that girl good. You better water her hand. Water my hand and grease my palm, please. Okay, so what has been hidden? The Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, this is that infidelity that we've been talking about. You did not know that this person was a sneaky link in real life, okay? So not only were they hiding other people from you, but they didn't have the audacity to come forward and to tell you for quite some time they have not been happy with this Ten of Cups in reverse, okay? Lastly, they also did not tell you that they were having some second thoughts, feeling like maybe they may have rushed into this situation with this Hangman in reverse, okay? Now, what does this mean for you? Okay. This means this person has been smiling in your face all the while and been having second thoughts all the while. This means for you that even though they was telling you they couldn't wait to be with you forever, ever, 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 forever.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Ever, ever. They were not willing to tell you that they were not happy. Okay. So they were willing to compromise. They were willing to make poor choices and bad decisions out of selfishness. They were also willing to break this happy home up and dead. Okay? So this infidelity that was being hidden from you was revealed to you by their actions and by their decisions. So what has been hidden? The Four of Swords in reverse. Okay? They just needed to take a break. Okay? They just needed to take a step back and to reflect and assess why they needed to be more appreciative of this. In other words, Spirit is saying they needed to go outside, get in these screws, go get in a nasty pool called the dating pool, and figure out for themselves that this ain't what you want.
Oh, man.
Okay? They had to find out for themselves in real time. So that was hidden from you. That they were cheating on you. They had a history of being unfaithful. They were being selfish. They were willing to compromise. And they needed to work on them. That was hidden from you. Okay? Now, what is the true motive of person A for person B? What is the true motive for person A of person A and person B? Okay. We got the King of Cups. Now, what's interesting is with this King of Cups, this tells me person A really does adore and admire and wants to offer love to you, person B. They absolutely do. They truly, honest to God, did and want to. Again, you guys have been together for quite some time. The reason why I'm pointing that out is because on this King of Cups and this King of Cups, both King of Cups have gray hair. Okay? So that tells me y'all been together for a long time. We've already talked about that ad nauseum here, but that's reassuring that this has not been no newly created relationship. There's been a long, this gas been on for a long time. Okay? So they do have genuine, pure intentions for you, especially as a family person, okay? This person cloaks themselves, I'm a family man. Yeah, you a family man, but you don't treat your wife or your girlfriend with dignity and respect. Make it make sense. Family man is comprehensive of the people that's in the family, not just you, okay? Now, what is the real intention here? So we have the devil in reverse, okay? And what I will say to that, the intention was obstructed by this person's inability to stop being selfish, this person's inability to put the phone down, log out of the Instagram, delete the Facebook, erase the LinkedIn. Yes, people use LinkedIn as a dating site, okay? My point is the intent here is for them to release after acknowledging how these innocent relationships are negatively impacting the relationship that should matter most, okay? This person is over here about to risk it all for somebody who ain't got nothing to lose.
Fuck them kids.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you risk it all for somebody who ain't got nothing? Nothing. I'll let you answer that, okay? Lastly, what is it that both parties are avoiding? The Two of Swords, okay? Both of y'all are avoiding making a decision here. The decision is simple: reconciliation or permanent uncoupling. Okay? Not that balloon spirit. Come on now. Now, you have a choice. Either you repair and replenish this relationship and fully commit, or you fully commit to permanency elsewhere. And like Big Boy say, you better choose the right one or pick the kitties up. Okay? Because that's what it's going to be. It's that simple. Both of you are avoiding making that decision. Both of you may be looking, researching, analyzing, trying to find a path forward on how this approach should and could work for you. However, no one's wanting to make the damn decision. And that says a lot about you two. Okay? You're just stuck in a stagnant place trying to figure it out. And what I'm trying to tell you is you need to go ahead and figure that out. Okay? So, let me ask the final question. Why does this matter now? Why does this matter now? We got the Knight of Wands. So person A is about to come in fighting for this. We also have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And we have the High Priestess. Okay? It is being impressed upon from this universal creation, spirit, in combination with this retrograde and all this Piscean energy. Piscean energy is being reflected here with this High Priestess, as well as that Moon card that came out. Okay, anything with the Moon and intuition is dealing with Pisces. Okay, that is that 12th house energy. But there is being an energy that is being impressed upon, okay, on person A, that they're going to have to get their head out there, you know what? Stop being so arrogant. Stop being so prideful. Stop being so selfish. Sorry, person A, not sorry. My job is to communicate the energy to you, not coddle your feelings. Okay, I just have to be honest and say that. But Spirit is saying you have no choice but to make this right. You may have been oblivious to your ways and what your intentions were, but you got to make it right. You got to make this right. And failure to make this right will result in a tower moment for you. It was not by happenstance that you were where you were in the park that day when you had a conversation with a stranger, that this conversation about or topic about your person came up. This is all in divine alignment. Spirit is saying, okay, you didn't hear it when it was coming from her directly or him directly. But I'm telling you, this is how your behaviors were offensive to this other person. And Spirit has put it in your brain cell, in your intuition, for you to be able to come forth and to expose and reveal the truth for what it is, and to allow that person to make a sensible choice for their own benefit about how they want to move forward. That's why this matters now. Okay? That's why this matters now. Now, I want to know how this final story is going to end. Now, I got to ask you that's been sitting up here listening. Drop a water sign in the chat if these emotions are starting to surface to the front for you, and put a fire sign in the chat if clarity just came through. Because I want to know now what, and I just looked up, it's 1 hour and 11 minutes that we have been on this live. I wants to know, sugar, what is the final outcome? All right, here we go. Now, before we get too far in this, I need to go ahead and find out who have we been talking about this whole time, and how are we going to be able to move forward between you and this person. So, person A. Myra, you funny. Person A is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Myra might be on to something. We'll find out. If you or your person is an air sign, go ahead and put the clouds in the chat. We are talking about you needing to take a break, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude, which is everything that we talked about. Specifically, we talked about that here. Okay, here and here. And then it was also one of the questions that came up. Now, person B in all of this is another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we have two air signs. This other person here, which is probably why I'm sensing that neither one of y'all want to pull the trigger, because y'all know how y'all do. But person B is also a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, coming in as a Two of Swords in reverse. This is the lesser of two evils. No right choice, confusion, indecision, which I said was prevalent already, and information overload. Okay, so again, they're not wanting to make that decision, and that came up here when we talked about both people. Okay, so we got a few folk around here not wanting to make no doggone decisions. All right, so as we assess the final outcome, I say potential because I cannot predict free will. That is up to you. Spirit can light up the path and tell you which way to go, but it's up to you to choose to walk down that path. All right. So with that being said, what is the potential final outcome in today's reading for these two airheads? I'm just kidding. These two air signs. All right, here we go. And that's interesting too, because I mentioned that whether it's a formal or informal thing, that is so air signs, because especially Aquarius, y'all don't want to be in nothing traditional. Y'all want to do whatever y'all want to do. Okay. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. So the first card we got here is the Judgment card. Okay. Listen, there's going to be opportunity for both of y'all. I do feel like there's going to be a reconciliation, But the reconciliation feels more so like a conversation that is coming forth at this time. And it feels like with that reconciliation, that's going to give opportunity for both of you to ask questions, to be able to assess and to determine whether or not you feel like this is something that you can do. Because at the end of the day, if this person is a chronic cheater and don't know how to be faithful to save their life, then maybe that's something that we should not be pursuing. You could just keep picking up the kids and I can go on about my business and find somebody who wants the same things that I want. It's that simple. It's a win-win for everybody. But for some reason or another, somebody in this equation don't want to be truthful. I need it. We also got the Two of Swords in reverse. So again, once you guys have this conversation, there is going to be no clarity, no decisions, no clear directive. Okay? I feel strongly that once person B hears the truth from you, person A, not through the streets, but from your mouth and your mouth only, I think they gonna kind of like be a little bit offended and take a step back, honestly.
Survey said.
And lastly, told you, the Death card. Person B is likely going to put an end to this and choose to move forward on their own way, their own path, go through a transformation. I don't see them wanting to stick around. I mean, that doesn't mean, because this Death card can be read both ways. It could be read that because there was no decision made, that you guys decided to reignite the relationship and try to start over, like the old ways are dead and the new ways are in. But I don't feel like that at all. I think once person B understands what they're dealing with, I really do strongly believe that person B is going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm good. Okay. And lastly, the Seven of Pentacles. They are going to person B is going to be proud and happy with the fact that they didn't make an impulsive decision. I feel like they are going to be proud that they stayed the course, proud that they didn't give in quickly, proud with the fact that they were willing to be patient and to see this through, because had they not let that time lapse in this connection, they would have been misguided, right? They would have thought that things were repaired and everything was all good when it's not.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups here. So I do believe there will be happiness for both of you as singles. I do not see you guys reconciling. Well, I can ask the question because I told y'all this card can be read two different ways. So, clear spirit with clear and precise messages. Will this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius reconcile with this other Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that they've been playing games with? Will they reconcile? Give me a clear yes or no. How should we look at this Death card? Clear and precise messages. Will there be a reconciliation? Yes or no? I said clear and precise, and I got a maybe. Okay. So the Four of Cups in reverse came up. That's reflective of, that's also water energy. Okay. Cups, right? So this is an emotional connection, but it is reversed. So that is sudden awareness, choosing happiness, acceptance, retreat, withdrawal, checking in for realignment. So if that is choosing happiness, which is what we talked about shortly thereafter, and that acceptance, yeah, it could be that both of you guys are going to move on. Clarify this Four of Cups for me, please, Spirit. We got the King of Swords and we got the Knight of Pentacles. So the King of Swords is saying upright, head over heart decisions, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity and authority, followed by this Knight of Pentacles, which is self-discipline, boredom, feeling stuck, perfectionism, work without reward. So that's two maybes and a yes. But what that tells me is with this new revelation and insight that they got, there's going to be some sense of choosing happiness here, making that head over heart decision, as well as recognizing that they are stuck, right? And that they're working without a reward. So when I pull up the next card to like really clarify what this means, we have another yes card with the Wheel of Fortune upright, which is good luck, karma, life cycles, destiny, turning points, change, inevitable fate, ups and downs, and unpredictable. When we think about relationships, that's exactly what relationships are. So I do stand corrected, ladies and gentlemen.
Not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Person A is gonna get their girl back. Aww. Yeah, they gonna get their boo thing back. So there will be a resurgence in this connection, okay? And it does look like the time that you guys have put into this connection is going to mean something, okay? So with that being said, what did I say was at the bottom of the deck? The Nine of Cups, yeah. So y'all gonna be happy with the decisions that y'all made, okay? So I hope that I did you justice tonight. What about this reading has surprised you today? Okay. And in what ways did this reading just help you better understand the situation that you're in? Go ahead and write that down in the chat box or the comment section below, because I love to hear how I was able to help you today. In the meantime, I want to say thank you so much for sharing space with me. Again, I am Mimi Lightseer, and this is PiSeas Tarot on another edition of Tarot for Two. Okay. If something resonated with you, leave a heart in the chat or in the comment section below and tell me what resonated with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join my growing community, y'all. Now remember, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Make sure you leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye, y'all. Good night.